We're making 100% Einkhorn flour bread today. Mill the flour. Make the Yudane by putting your flour into a small bowl on your scale. Zero out your scale by pressing the 0 or the tare button, T-A-R-E. You'll notice that the numbers on the scale reset and it will show 0 even though your flour and your bowl are still on the scale. Now we can pour our water portion of the Yudane, which would be double the amount of the flour, or it's listed in your recipe as boiling water. Pour that amount over top of your flour, watching the scale, not the pot. And mix into a paste. If using active dry yeast instead of instant yeast, take 50 grams of your recipe's water and put it in a small container on your scale. Zero it out. Add in your sugar. If you're using a lot more sugar than, say, 2 teaspoons worth, you only need a little bit of the sugar in your water. Zero out your scale and add your yeast. Give it a little swirl and let it sit while your dough does the first phase of mixing. This is called proving the yeast. And when we get to the step where you add your yeast into your bread, if this isn't frothy, your yeast is bad and it's proven to be bad. Get another set of yeast before you make your bread. If you're using active dry yeast, you're going to measure your vitamin C and your sea salt into this container. If you're using instant yeast, you'll also add that to the container. But if you're using active dry yeast, it's proving in a container already. If you're using active dry yeast, you've already reserved 50 grams of water to prove it. So you will add 230 grams of liquid to your bowl. If you're using instant yeast, you're going to add 280 grams of liquid to your bowl. Add your Yudane, and if your sugar was not already used in the proving step, such as with instant yeast, add that to your bowl as well. Finally, pour your flour on top and mix for 5 minutes in your mixer. During this time, if you would like to add in an egg and a tablespoon or 2 of olive oil or butter, you can do that. A note for my KitchenAid users: you're going to mix for 2 minutes and then you're going to let your dough rest for 15 to 30 minutes. This will help to soften the bran and get you to window pane faster without overworking your mixer. When mixing, you start on the lowest speed. With the Einkhorn, you need to push the bar in and out to get it moving. Our dough has mixed without the salt and the yeast. It is sticky. This is Einkhorn, it's always going to be sticky. But it's very smooth. Looks good. We're going to add our yeast, our salt, and our vitamin C, which is optional but makes for a softer bread. If you would like to use food-based vitamin C, you can do that. I will have a link to the food-based vitamin C that I prefer on my blog. If you're using active dry yeast, your yeast should be bubbly. Otherwise, it's bad, and you will need to get new yeast before you make your bread, or it will be a fail. Your bread will not rise unless your yeast is good. That's one of the things I like about instant yeast. I've never experienced it bad, and I can use it right away without adding this extra step to my bread making process. Now we're gonna mix it until window pane. I usually set a timer for 5 minutes, but in my Einkhorn it usually only takes me about 2 minutes. Our bread dough is finished mixing. It's smooth and shiny, which is a great indicator that it's ready for the next phase. When you have a very sticky dough like Einkhorn, knowing to look for a smooth, shiny dough that stretches as it goes around the bowl works just as well as checking for a window pane. So because it's summer and my kitchen is hot, instead of letting it rise in the Einkhorn bowl with the lid on and gain extra heat, I'm gonna take it out of that bowl and let it rise in my Pyrex. Okay. It's very sticky, and that's normal. I can't say that enough. Einkhorn dough is sticky no matter what you do. It's always sticky. That's how you know you got Einkhorn. Now, if you watched any of my other bread videos, you know that the dough is never this sticky. It just kind of plops out. It's almost like taffy. So we could work with oiled hands, get a little oil, or wet hands. But even with the wet hands, it's still gonna stick. And even with the oiled hands, I'm just gonna kinda shape it into a little ball here. Flatten it down. Put the lid on. All right. We have our dough in the bowl. We're gonna let it rise here on the counter. It's been 30 minutes. Our dough has risen to the top of our container. We're gonna shape our dough. Let's get our dough shaped. Press it out. Put it into my yeast pan to let it rise a second time. Preheat your oven. Our dough has risen above the top of the pan. When I push in, it stays depressed. It's ready to bake. I just put my Einkhorn bread in the oven. I'm gonna set a timer for 30 minutes and come back to check the temperature. 30 minutes has passed. We're gonna put our thermometer into the center of the loaf. We're at 196. We're gonna take it out. Okay, our Einkhorn bread has cooled and I have sliced it. Look how beautiful and golden the crumb is. And it's nice and soft and moist. Yes, it is. I got a friend over who had a slice. Actually, she got a few slices because it's pretty good. Here is our slice. Okay, and this also was a little over fermented because remember my kitchen was like 90 degrees today until I put the AC on. But this bread will hold up for sandwiches and it's so delicious. It's really pretty easy. I will look forward to hearing what you have to say about it. Hope you like it.